Right, first subject I was going to talk about today, casualty departments. Come on, you've all been there. I've been there so many times. Tell me how many bones you've broken. I know there's one of my subscribers has managed to break her toe, so I hope you I hope you're mending well. I've never broken a toe. I've broken 2 fingers and a thumb, but I've never broken a and my nose, but I've never broken a toe. So yes, I should imagine that's really painful because you just can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. So yes, my exploits started off when I was a little youngster. I was always up casualty department. I think I must have had a season ticket. I was constantly cutting myself open. I've had stitches numerous times. I've had stitches, I've been taped, I've been glued. It's an occupational hazard, unfortunately. My last visit to casualty was about a year ago, and I sliced my hand open at work. It was my own fault. I just didn't see a metal bracket. I thumped this metal bracket and went straight through my hand. You could see the bones and all the muscles. It wasn't pretty, guys. Lots of blood. I managed to stem the flow. I had an apprentice with me at the time. I grabbed hold of my hand. As soon as I did it, I knew I'd done something nasty. It's one of those where you just hold it and you daren't look. You think, oh no, what have I done now? There was so much blood. So my apprentice said to me, what shall I do? What shall I do? I said, go and get the first aid kit. I said, we'll tape it up. And he said, how about your super glue? And I said, no. I was a bit too big for super glue. I said, we need to tape it up. So he disappears, gets the first aid kit, comes back with it, and we cut strands of tape to tape my hand back together. So we do that, we stem the flow. I wrap my hand in tissue paper to stem the blood flow. And he said, you all right? I said, no, I feel awful. I was absolutely sweating. Sweat was pouring off me. I felt giddy. I thought, oh my God. And I stood there, and the next thing I can remember was I'd got a whole group of people stood around me. I'm laying on the floor. I'd passed out, guys. I'd actually fainted. I've never done that before. I fainted. I think it was just the sheer amount of blood and the shock of it all, I suppose. But I passed out. So I ended up sat in the tea room. The casualty book came out, so I had to go in the accident book. And then I ended up getting taken to the A&E in Bury St Edmunds. And they took me into the casualty department. You sit there in the waiting room area. My hands all wrapped up in tissue papers, covered in blood. And they call you through to the triage. So I go in to see the triage, and she unwraps my hand to have a look. She takes some notes. Then she tells me to go and sit back down in the waiting area. So I wrap my hand up again, go and sit down. The sweat's absolutely pouring off. I feel absolutely awful. And then they call me back in because they need to do a blood test. So I go back in to see the triage nurse again. And I sit down, and she said, oh, you do look pale. I said, can I borrow one of your sick bowls, please? I said, I think I'm going to be sick. And she said, hang on a second. Hang on a second, she said. She disappears and comes back with one of those paper mache bowls and a wheelchair, and they wheeled me straight in. So I went straight into the recovery rooms, or those little booths, I don't know what you call them. They took me straight in, and this was the height of summer. It was a really hot day, and they sat me on this bed underneath an air conditioning unit. It was bliss, absolutely bliss. That cooled me down. In fact, I got so cold I was shivering, but that was so nice. They put heart monitors all over me. They thought I'd had a heart attack. They did loads of tests. The doctor kept asking me what I'd taken, and I think I know where that came from, why the doctor was asking that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he thought I was taking something, as in because I'd seen my doctor probably a few months before and asked me if he'd put me onto hormones. And I think possibly that might have been in my notes. So I think they thought maybe I was self-medicating. That's what I think that was about. But I wasn't. I think I just fainted because of the blood. So I was there till lunchtime. So I'd done that first thing in the morning. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't get out there till about 2 o'clock. And I phoned up the garage to say, can somebody come and pick me up? And they sent an apprentice down to pick me up, take me back to work. And I said, right, that's it, I'm going home. I said, you can write today off. I said, I'm not doing anything today, and I just went home. That was a disastrous day. And that was the last time I ended up in casualty, and I don't intend doing that one again. Right, guys, now I want you to tell me about your most recent exploits in the accident and emergency. Tell me what happened to you. Okay, bye-bye for now.